firstly, oh no, wait, I've just got a comment about the Imagine Dragons. Nabiso, really? You went to see it? No, or is that your song? Okay, I'm going to stop talking about music now because really I could get very excited about music, but not as excited as I can get about you all doing the work to push towards your purpose. That is the most exciting feeling, but I really want to know how everyone is feeling. We had lots of you yesterday, lots of people catching up on replay. Around 30 people caught up the replay in real time. And although they can't be here with us right now, they're going to be here with us in the replay in the same day. So, you know, in the analogy of us being a symphony and orchestra, everyone here today, you're the part of the orchestra that the audience can see. There's still another part of the orchestra that, you know, those stages where they go down underneath. And all of those people are still going to be listening to it. So feeling like you need this today, Sherry, I'm sorry you had a rough day and I'm glad that you're here. Well done. And yeah, absolutely loved your comments and love your engagement in the Facebook group. Not everybody's in that Facebook group, but a lot of people are. And for the front part of the orchestra, let's just look slick. Let's just keep playing the best game that we can. So keep up that enthusiasm in the comments. It really is super great to see that. You know, I specifically wanted to create a replay page that people could catch up with in real time because it's so important to stay in the container of a challenge. You know, you've invested your time, which is super precious, and there's power in being in a challenge. It's kind of like a sprint to your career purpose. The one thing that it offers is obviously motivation. It's really great to have the sense of accomplishment. It boosts your confidence when you see people responding to you and we're all sort of doing something hard together. Makes it feel less hard. The other thing that's cool about the sprint challenge format is that you get accountability, right? It's good to know that there's somebody there waiting for your work, waiting for your input, waiting for the stuff that you're going to do. Because this work, this part of doing the work, which is figuring out, slowing down, reflecting, this part of the work, you know, it's easy not to do. Sometimes it's easier just to complain. Being stuck is not a great feeling, but being stuck is also an easy feeling. And I know, I mean, in my process, my one-to-one 12-week process, you know, the whirlwind of the day completely takes over. And often my busiest clients who don't really have time will book the highest frequency of packages to know that I'm there with them. I'm there in that week to hold them accountable, to get them through what they need to get through and help them with the thinking and the doing part, the mindset and the action steps to be able to get some cool results. And that format, which is now what we're in, which is this cool challenge space, is exactly why I created the Career Strategy Club. The Career Strategy Club's tagline is where mindset meets action weekly, because it gives you that same sense of motivation and it gives you that same sense of accountability. For those who weren't here yesterday, the Career Strategy Club is a paid community for anyone who's ready to take their career to the next level. It's designed around my proven 3-stage process, which is know yourself, project yourself, and connect yourself. It's a process that I've been taking people through for the past decade in a one-to-one format. And now I'm moving it all into a small digital, online, bite-sized, low-ticket membership offering. I actually spend time with an instructional designer to help me develop the material. I mean, I had the material, not to help me develop the material, but to help me set it into instructional design so that it could be membership-based. I mean, I know the material so well, and this is what I've been working with. The instructional designer was actually a past client of mine, which was even more interesting because she knew the work too. but she helped me format it so that it could really get results because it's a self-paced course. It meets you where you're at, yet you're getting a very definitive process of experientially based on my experience, because I developed my process based on what I went through. And these are the strategies that I teach to all of my one-on-one clients, which gets them the results in real time. So unlike a lot of memberships or supports areas where it's very heavy on theory, this theory mindset meets action weekly. You will then be able to get the results in real time. I think we've all got enough information. There is enough information out there in the world with AI and ChatGPT and goodness knows everything else. What we need to know, though, is what to do with the information that we have. And that's really what the club is purposed around. I just want to very quickly run through how it works so that you're clear on that. It's a quarterly membership. So it's a 3-month membership. You pay for 3 months, not monthly. And after 3 months, you can leave, because I don't believe that a month is going to get you anything. A 3-month process is where we build this 90-day vehicle, this engine, your first building block. But then the purpose is not only to be able to build this building block, but to slow things down. So in 4 weeks of each month, 3 of those weeks are taking one element of my process, one element of the know yourself, one element of the project yourself, and one element of the connect yourself, to really slow it down so that you can master it. You'll get the material and the information in an on-demand video format with my wonderful instructional designer who's helped me script that, as well as digital products to sort of download and to support you. That would be around 30 minutes weekly. Plus, you also have the Ask Me Anything option. So you can submit your questions on a Google form, anything that's bothering or affecting you, or you're sitting with, that you're stuck with, you can submit and then I'll answer those questions. Then in the 4th week, we have a group career strategy session where we look at the 3 action steps that you've worked through from the know yourself, project yourself, and connect yourself stage, and we stack them together into a strategy. And then month 2, we rinse and repeat. And then we go with another element of the know yourself stage, another element of the project yourself, and another element of the connect yourself. So it's really about deepening a solid strategy for you, but at the same time giving you this movement, this accountability, the space to continue to go and grow, and have Ask Me Anything questions so you don't get stuck. So when this challenge runs, when this challenge wraps up on Thursday, you're all going to have the opportunity to join. You'll be invited to join at a special launch offer, which is $99 for the quarter. So the first quarter is $99. The prices will definitely go up in 2025. You've got the option to join for the first quarter, or you can actually lock out your whole year's membership at that price. Open the sort of club's going to be open to join up until the end of October. So on Halloween night, 31st of October, the doors will firmly close for the Career Strategy Club. And then my focus, effort, and energy is going to be on the participants who've joined, and then obviously my one-to-one clients. So yeah, you're here for the challenge, you've joined for free, but you can stay for the next phase of your transformation, and you can invest to upgrade and to thrive. So Kendra sent some links. On the everything page at the bottom, there's a WhatsApp link. If anybody has any questions and you're not sure about the club, or you want to find out more about it, please feel free to just engage with us on WhatsApp. Now, for all of the new people, yesterday I asked who was new and whose tribe, and I love those tribe responses. It's really amazing to see some people here who I have worked with 5, maybe 6 years ago, some of you. So thank you. I'm so honored that you're here. But the new people, you are now part of the tribe. You're not new anymore. You were new yesterday, but now you're all tribe. And you've joined a movement of like-minded career revolutionaries who are focused on looking for and finding more meaning in their work. The word revolutionary is about surrounding yourself with people and an environment who will push you to do more. So whether you're seeking something new, entirely new, whether you're wanting to disrupt the way that you currently work, Or if you're on a mission to pioneer an entirely new way of work, you're in the right place. And I celebrate how far we have all come here on day 2 of the challenge. You've all got these incredible 12 career purpose statements. Now, yesterday I asked you to write them down in long form, so please make sure you've got that long form information with you. You'll see in the everything page that the notes, the worksheet from each day, you can download after the session. And I do encourage you just to kind of quickly go through, the replay and watch it again, because it is a lot of information, and allow yourself time to just percolate in it. At the beginning of anything, as Robin Sharma says, the beginning of everything is going to be hard. In the middle, it's going to get messy. The middle's going to be tomorrow. So Wednesday, my friends, is going to be a whole lot of messy. But at the end, it's going to be magnificent. And the end is your beginning of career clarity, confidence and direction, and knowledge that you are your inner career guru. Remember that. You have an inner career guru, and only you know the best for you, for your highest good within your career. It's about unlocking that with a framework and a process. The other thing you must remember is that the company owns the job. You own your career. You're doing this work for you. You're showing up here for you, not for your employer, past, present, or future. And the last thing that I want to remind you is that it's never too late to start your purpose work. Purpose evolves as we do. We can have multiple purposes at once. It's not a singular tick box, one thing. It evolves and grows as we do. So we can revisit our career purpose statements again and again and again. But really today, on day 2, it's about celebrating how you have shown up. Yes, you've been dancing like no one's watching, but they are watching, because people around you in your community are going to pick up on a shift within you. You're striking a chord in this symphony orchestra, and that definitely creates a ripple effect. And every single client that I have worked with one-to-one, whether it was just in 3 sessions or whether it was in my full 12-session, 12-week process, the people around them have noticed and have asked, and they've lent in, and it's affected them. So there's something quite purposeful in that. You're doing the work to discover your career purpose. But the greater purpose is that you're actually going to be inspiring the hearts and minds of others along the way, just by doing the stuff that you're doing. So really, congratulations. I want you to recognize the process that you've made, this amazing harmonizing role that you're playing. Quite cool to think about. We've got Poland and the UK and Bombela and Maritzburg and Durban and all these places where there's the ripple effect of inspiring other people to do their purpose work. So a big round of applause to everyone. Some pats on the back. Go ahead, pat yourself on the back. And congratulations. But deep breath. You've got this. And I want to talk about a couple of things before we get into the challenge slides. And the challenge slides are where we're going to go through those 12 career purpose statements and double down on them. But before we get there, I want to ask you this. And let me know in the chat, when did you hear about or learn about the concept of purpose and purpose in your work? Let's think about that. When did you first hear about it? Think about it. Or when did somebody tell you it's time to find a purpose, or we can have work for purpose? Church. Okay, cool. Mabongile, that's great. What sort of era was that? Was that like recently? Was that some time ago? Like, this is an interesting thing. Maybe you want to reflect on this, and we can have a chat going in the Facebook group about mid-career, heading towards 50. Yeah, definitely. Sandra says a company workshop. So high potential company workshop. All right. So company had invested in high potential leadership, and they started talking to you now about purpose. Interesting. 2003. Yeah. Sherry, in your new job at an interview a few years ago. Yeah, it's an all gee, question to ask. What do you think your purpose is? How did you handle that, Sherry? How did you handle that? Interesting. Farana, realization in COVID. Yes, yes. The whole world shifted, right? During the pandemic. Lorraine, is it? Yes, when you became a mother, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Um, without a doubt. Thank you for telling me it's you and you're joining from your Edge laptop. I'm not going to call you my Edge. Liesel, you were looking for persuasive communication techniques and you came across my ad. Okay, so in other words, you're saying that you only kind of really heard about it around about now then. Career psychology, preparing for university. Yeah, all right. So sometime back for you. Sue Ellen, when you woke up one day and you couldn't figure out why you were doing what you were doing and it wasn't getting you anywhere. Okay. A few days ago. Thank you, Liesel. So it was just a few days ago. Around the beginning of Know Your Why era with Simon Sinek. Great, great teacher. Love Simon Sinek, Victor. So this is quite interesting. Just in this group that we have here, Marie, in around 2000s, you were training in a learning company, focus on personal purpose. Yeah. So, I mean, that word purpose, perhaps for you, Abangile, it was around what is your purpose in life and what was happening. You talk about it was a particular life-changing event. Yep, okay, made you evaluate everything. Often that's the case, right? When there is a shift and a change, when something's perhaps not working. But career purpose, putting those two words together, it's quite interesting. But here in this group and in this orchestra that the audience can see from the stage, we've got a couple of days ago in Liesel's case, and then some of us way back, you know, to COVID and even earlier back. So I find that interesting. I find that interesting that the metric, the time frame, the continuum of purpose is so unique to everyone. Important because it's unique. It should be so unique to all of us. And it's not this one size fits all. So just to share a little bit about my story, I spoke about yesterday, you saw that slide of my daughter and I wanted to just give you a little bit more insight into me in that sense about finding my purpose when I was a parent. Absolutely, you drop into that, whoa, like incredibly and immediately. I was a single mother. Well, I still am a single mother. My daughter was around 7 years old and there was a palpable, specific moment in my former career. I remember driving to fetch her from aftercare, from her primary school aftercare, and I was exhausted. The work that I did, it was such, the environment that I was in wasn't a bad environment. It was just not right for me, and it absolutely sapped me of everything. So driving to fetch her at sort of 4:45, I just felt my energy was zapped and I was exhausted and I had the scraps left for her. I certainly didn't have the best of me. And when I collected her and we headed off, there was a beautiful full moon as I drove home, and I decided to pull over on the side of the road and have a look at this beautiful full moon. Just to do something different. I felt like I needed to get out the car and maybe, you know, shift my energy. And it was that moment that I just realized I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. This little 7-year-old needed more from me than what I was able to give her because I was giving it all to an environment that wasn't suited for me. So, you know, we're socialized into working hard at our jobs. Get a good qualification, get a good job, work hard, work hard, work hard. I mean, that analogy of climbing a ladder, I don't know about any of you, but in my first career, I remember my first job, the boss that hired me talked to me about, well, you're at the bottom of the ladder now and you've got some way to climb. I remember looking at him thinking, I don't want to climb a ladder. That sounds scary and hard, and I just don't want to do that. Like, is there another way of getting to the top other than climbing a ladder? It was just not for me at all. So we're socialized into working hard. We're told climb a ladder. And the reality is we should actually be working hard on ourselves. And that's why I believe that friction always comes to us. Now, this word friction, I like because it's a powerful word. What comes after friction is what really interests me. You know, if you think of it, friction is the power that gets two pieces of wood to rub together to start a fire. So if we talk about career friction, it's relative to, and it's subjective to anyone. I mean, career friction could just be a little bit of discomfort, or it could be like a sandpaper rub of discomfort that actually draws blood. So career friction is the term that I use to describe stuck, stagnant, unhappy, not knowing what we're doing, feeling like we're not in the right place, but we don't know why. And friction then is a power word. So for those of you who are in career friction, we've all been in it and we're all in it. Friction is a part of a developing and growing career, because as you work hard and as you move through the organization or through your career, there's going to be something that doesn't work for you. But it's about acknowledging it and understanding it and analyzing it. And the last thing that I just want to talk about before we go into the challenge part is that what my definition of a career is. Because sometimes when I say career, people say, oh, the corporate world's not for me. A career is not something that just comes from the corporate world. A career is your thing. It's yours. It's what you own. It's the beautiful way in which you choose to bring purpose to it and what you want to do with your work. A career could be entrepreneurial. A career could mean fractional. A career could mean contract. A career could mean you work on a retainer basis with 2 clients and then you do some stuff on your own. A career, in my definition, is not a job. A job, whether that's corporate or not, or small, medium enterprises, a job is something that you do for a time to either gain skills or put money in your account to be able to move forward. A career is a conglomerate of all of these things. A career is not a job. A career is the broader thing that you bring purpose to, that you know, that you understand, and that you constantly evolve and control, and most importantly, you own. Sometimes we do a whole bunch of different jobs in our career, but it's the career that's the important part. So I wanted to just make that definition or distinction. Traditional corporate careers are a thing of the past, potentially. I mean, I say that with respect to those of us who are in traditional conservative corporate careers, but we know that the future of work is evolving. Everything is shifting and changing, and our career is about seeing things in this new, owned, purposeful way. And it's about, today is about finding that work for purpose. Making those shifts into our purpose work. So now let's get to our slides. And everyone can tell me if you can see the slides for day 2. So I'd love you to just give me a thumbs up. Those in the room, can you see the slides? Everything visible and good? Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thumbs up to all of us. Good, good, good. We can all see. Thanks, thanks, thanks. So, right, now we're into the challenge part. Get your journals out, get your pens ready, get your flexing muscles ready to go. So the challenge is definitely designed to build on each day. And day 2 is where we are at. I did just want to pause and give you the information about the Next Big Thing upgrade pass and what that means. There's the slide here. What it looks like is purchasing a pass which gets you into a smaller room where there's interaction. So the Zoom room won't be like a webinar style. It'll be more like all of our faces on the screen. But after tomorrow, the messy middle of Wednesday, you'll get an extra session with me. And then Thursday, the last free challenge day, there'll be another extra session. And then plus on Friday, they will be another day. Now, 30 minutes or roughly that. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, it might be 30 minutes, it might be more. It's not going to be less than 30 minutes, that's for sure. And then the call time for Friday doesn't have to be 5 o'clock. We'll decide on who is in the next big thing, who's bought that upgrade pass. We'll decide on what's right. You'll also get a purpose tracker sheet. I said yesterday I'd show you what that is. This is what the purpose tracker sheet is. It's a dynamic Google spreadsheet where you're able to really use the process of tracking things through. And somebody who's upgraded to the next big thing pass will be chosen at random to be our study, our case study. You can choose to be an anonymous case study. We won't necessarily need to use your name, but what that means is that I will deep dive with that one person specifically to not only help them with their statements, but the interpretation of any blocks that might come up and what they want to do with that and where that takes them. So that's just some info about the next big thing, upgrade pass. The investment for that is $25, and it's the only way that you can work with me in this challenge format to be able to get some of that extra income, extra time and investment. Guys, sorry, I didn't talk about Toby, and he sat looking at me for the whole of yesterday, and I put the slide in here because this is my other child, my furry friend. My little child is now grown up and traveling the world and doing her working thing, but this is my little baby here. So I just had to quickly put him in there so that he doesn't feel completely ignored. But let's get to things. Okay. Yesterday you reflected on what brings you clarity. Yesterday you gained the clarity on reflecting on certain elements of your work, and you had 6 clarity statements. You also then looked at how those elements made you feel, which gave you 6 emotion statements. So you all now have 12 career purpose statements. Now, what we are going to do is combine those together. So the focus for day 2 is about adding them together into one combined statement. Now, you don't have to overthink it. I want you to keep it simple. Focus on just the key elements of clarity and the emotion and what feels natural for you. Don't worry about it being polished. It's just, getting your thoughts through, and also let it evolve. This is a draft. This doesn't have to be perfect. There is time to refine it, but most importantly, trust your gut, because whatever feeling or initial reaction comes up is generally the right one. Now, as I said, we're going to combine them too. We're going to combine the 2 sentences together. I'm going to take each of those sentences slide by slide, and we're going to do it together in real time. Right now, I want to describe how we're going to combine them. I just want you all to listen on this slide. Then we're going to get into combining each, okay? So just listen. Listen to me now. So statement 1 of your first 6, which was, I get excited about the work I do when. That was your first statement, statement 1. So imagine the when is, I get excited about the work I do when I'm solving complex problems. Now you're going to pair that with the first sentence of the second set of 6. Now the second set of 6 was your emotion. When I get excited about the work I do, I feel energized and deeply fulfilled. So bringing those 2 together, we're going to use the "and this makes me feel" language, which then sounds like this. I get excited about the work I do when I'm solving complex problems, and this makes me feel energized and deeply fulfilled. So we're taking the first of each of these categories, first of clarity, first of emotion, combining them together with "and this makes me feel," and there's your answer. Okay? Has everyone got that? Now we're going to go through it slowly together, statement by statement. Write this out long form. I promise you, don't just download the worksheet after the call, write this out long form. So take your first statement from the first 6. Yesterday you would have written down, I get excited about the work I do when, ... You're going to add in, and this makes me feel. Now you're going to take the first statement from your emotion answers, ... So you're going to add them together. This particular combined statement, I get excited about the work I do when, your answer, and this makes me feel, your answer. This statement specifically identifies what tasks and responsibilities naturally excite you, revealing where your passion lies in your career. This is about unlocking passion and enthusiasm. Don't worry too much about, is this correct, is this right? I just want to tell you what it unlocks, but make sure that you've combined the two together. Okay, I'm going to move to the next statement now. So this is number 2 in your clarity statement, which the statement was, I get fully absorbed in the work I do when. Take your answer. You're going to add, and this makes me feel. Answer from number 2, statement of the emotion 6. So your combined statement is, I get fully absorbed in the work I do when, and this makes me feel ... Don't worry if it's not landing or making sense. That's okay. Just add the two together for now. We'll have some Q&A once we've got through this, and we can talk about anyone who feels like they're completely off kilter. Okay. Going into the third statement now. Third statement. I am inspired to do my best when. I am inspired to do my best when, and this makes me feel. Combining statement 3 together. I'm inspired to do my best when, your answer, and this makes me feel. So this statement is about unlocking motivation and values. We're going to move on to statement number 4. I feel challenged at work when, your answer from number 4, clarity, and this makes me feel, your answer from number 4, emotion. I feel challenged at work when, ... and this makes me feel ... Your combined purpose statement number 4 unlocks growth and development, helps you to identify the types of challenges that contribute to your personal and professional development as we move forward. What did statement 2 unlock? Sorry, Nika, did I miss that? Statement 2 unlocks flow and engagement. So by reflecting on activities that captivate your full attention, you uncover work that puts you in a state of flow and where you're fully engaged and motivated. Sorry, guys, to jump around on the slides, no problem. Okay, statement 5. I look forward to being in my work environment when, ... and this makes me feel. I look forward to being in my work environment when, ... and this makes me feel, ... So your combined purpose statement number 5 unlocks culture, work environment. What is the ideal in work environment, and how does it play a key role in contributing towards your career purpose? But it's really about the type of environment that makes you feel productive and fulfilled. Okay, and then moving on to the last statement, number 6, your combined purpose statement. I'm inspired by people around me when, and this makes me feel. I'm inspired by people around me when, and this makes me feel. Take your 2 answers, sandwich them in together with, and this makes me feel. This 6th statement is about community, relationships, the people around you, understanding the important relationships and what the people around you and what support is important to you in terms of people in your career purpose. Okay, so those are your combined purpose statements now. So we started, you had 12 yesterday. We've now got 6 combined statements. Is everyone with me with that? Has everyone been able to match answer 1 from clarity, answer 1 from emotion? And this makes me feel is the kind of glue that sandwiches it together. And you've now got 6 combined purpose statements. And I want you, we're going to sense check here, because I get that some of the answers that you did yesterday might not be making sense for you, or they might not be completely landing. So I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions when you read over your 6 combined statements. You're going to look at them and you're going to say to yourself, is the statement true? Sense check, is there truth in the statement? Next thing I want you to do is analyze, how does it sit with you? How does this statement sit with you? And then the third is I want you to ask yourself, does this give you some sense of direction? Does this give you some new information? So how does the statement, is the statement true? How does it sit with you? Does it build some sense of direction or information for you? Now, I want you to use those 3 sense check questions with a metric of between 1 to 5. So 1 being no, 5 being absolutely. So 1 being least and 5 being the most. So you're going to ask yourself each of the 6 statements, long combined statements, you're going to say, is the statement true? And you're going to write down a metric of 1 to 5. Is it true? No, 1. Maybe, then it's a 3. Definitely, then it's a 5. Maybe not, little bit yes, little bit no, then it's a 4. So use a metric of 1 to 5 for, is the statement true? You're going to run through all 6 of them to decide on that metric. And I want you to just put down very quick, top of your head, go within, the first thing that comes to mind, a 1 or a 5 for, are these statements true? Then the next thing you're going to do is ask yourself, how does this statement sit with you? What I mean by how does it sit with you? How do you, does it feel right or not? And then you're going to run a metric of 1 to 5 for each of those 6 statements. Does this first one feel right? Yes or no? How does it sit with you? 1, it doesn't. 5, it does. And then the third question is, does it give you some sense of direction? Does it give you something that you didn't already know? Is this illumination? Is it a little bit of a flashlight, this statement? Metric 1 to 5. So you're going to go through, again, third sense check of all of those 6 statements, 1 being 0, 1 being 1, low, and 5 being 5. This exercise is going to help us shape a broader vision of connecting these elements on a deeper emotional level, but also creating a solid foundation of what truly resonates with you. So everybody, that's it. Day 2 is done and dusted. please use the metric measurement. I am going to, in tomorrow's reminder, ask you to post something around that metric in the Facebook group, or you could email me if you're not in the Facebook group. Some of you are not here, but that's us. We're on an hour. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your focus. Thank you for your time. If anybody has any concerning burning questions, by all means, drop them in the chat now. There's a little bit of time for me to answer, but we'll be back tomorrow, live at 5, where we're going to lock down on what these combined purpose statements mean. So give yourself a sense check. Does it make sense? How does it sit with you? Are you looking at a flashlight? Does it give you some direction? I want to know. Metric 1 to 5. And thank you, thank you, thank you. No burning questions, just lots of food for thought. That's lovely. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you all. And I'll be seeing you in the Facebook group, seeing you back here tomorrow. Thank you, guys, and goodbye. Thank you.